Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways for you to get creative with your iPad. So if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. That all being said, let's go ahead and jump into the purpose of today's video, which is going to be setting up my planner for my weekly layouts for the month of March. If you missed my monthly setup, this is what it looks like. Feel free to check out that video. I will link it up in the cards here. And honestly, I was a little bit worried about these colors, but I think that they turned out so well in this particular layout. I am very, very satisfied with this look, and I hope that you guys like it too. But let's go ahead and jump in now to our weekly design. So I'm going to come to this week. And I've been trying to do a lot of time-saving things lately because we're all so busy. I feel like I'm so busy, and I think that this is helpful to everyone. But if you've watched my channel before, you know that I absolutely love using elements in order to save me time. And in January, I made a weekly element that allowed me to recolor this in such a simple way so that everything would match, and I just absolutely love it. And so I used that in February, and I'm definitely going to be using that again in March. So why don't we just go ahead and start there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my elements, and then I have a folder that I've created for like all of my 2024 planner elements. And so in it has this weekly setup. And so I'm just going to move this into place. I drew all of these out with the highlighter tool, which means I can just circle them as handwriting and recolor them anytime that I want to make them match my theme. If you happen to miss that and you'd like to see how I did that, you can check out my January weekly setup where I walk you through the process. And then just save it as an element and you'll have it for all of your future planners. I'm also going to hold off on actually changing the colors until I have the rest set up, and then I'll just figure out which colors go best with my planner in the end. But I really love doing it this way because not only does it save me time in the initial setup, it saves me time week to week that I don't have to go in and change out these stickers. So normally I would jump into my sticker pack and I would have to change the dates and move them every single week, but this saves that time and I am a huge fan of it. So yeah, this is the color palette that we're going to be using today. This was the first sticker set that I released, so everyone on Patreon and any of the paid tiers would have received this as a download. If you would like to check out my Patreon, I will leave links to that as well so you can see if there's a membership that fits your needs, but this would have been the one that was included. Otherwise, it's also available for individual purchase via Etsy. But since this is the color palette that we are going to be using today, I have already programmed these into my pen colors, and so if you need to pause this video and take a moment to add those in yourself, I will leave them up here in the corner and you can do that. But to start off, what I know that I want to do is I want to cover up this March here, so I'm also going to come back to my elements, and I have an old digital planning folder from last year, and that one has a background element that is the same color, and so I'm just going to add that in here and grab my image tool. And I'm just going to size this to cover up the word March. Okay, and now we're all set with the perfect canvas for us to get designing. So the first thing that I want to do is I know that I want to use, I think, this wavy design here. And so I just need to pick which color I want. So I'm thinking I might go with this more pink color. I'm just gonna grab this and copy it. Come back and paste that into my planner. And I'm going to use the image tool here. I just find that it's far more reliable. Okay, and then I'm going to add in, I think, this cute happy-go-lucky sticker. So we're just going to copy this and we're going to paste it into the bottom here. All right, and I think that looks nice. And then I'm just going to grab, I think, the green checkered washi. We're just going to copy that and paste that in here. I'm going to grab my image tool. I just prefer sizing with the image tool. I find that it's just far less finicky, and I have more freedom to actually place it where I want to. So if you're somebody who uses Goodnotes and you find the lasso tool for resizing and rotating a pain in the butt, I recommend choosing to use the image tool instead. And I actually might change the angle of this, just because there's the 31 down here, and then there's this whole sort of open week. So if I angle it this way, it'll fill that space a little bit better. And so now I've got a cute little note section. I am going to, I think, fill this with a to do, doing, and done section. This is sort of similar to something that I did last year, but I didn't really like the way that I did it last year, so I'm going to try it a little bit differently. But mostly, you guys know I've been doing these sprints now since the beginning of 2024, and I really like doing these 2-week sprints. I think that it's really helpful to keep me on track and help me sort of visualize what it is that I need to get done for the entire month. And so what I'm thinking about doing is having a to do, doing, and done section here, and then I can put like everything that needs to be done for the sprint that week up at the top, and then I can just kind of move them down, as opposed to like fully scheduling out every single day from that information, which is what I have been doing in January and February, and it's been working pretty well. But I don't know, I like to try out different things and see what my preferences are. So this is what I'm going to try this month. So let's go ahead and make that. So what I want to do is take this gradient here with the orange into the green, and I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it back into my planner, grab my image tool, and I'm just going to size it until it fits nicely here. It's going to cover up the dotted lines that I have here, and I just want to line up this bottom margin with this one the best that I can, and then make sure that it's centered between these margins as well. Okay, and that looks perfect. And then I'm also going to tap on this one. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it one more time. And then we're going to come in with the image tool, and I'm going to size this to cover up the width there. And then you can pretty easily use the days of the week as a guide. So this weekly calendar has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, and so you can make each of these the size of 2 sections. So coming back to my image tool, I'm just going to, you can zoom in here, and you can actually just center this little arrow with this center line here. And then, because Goodnotes sizes outwardly from the middle, you can take these and just make sure that they line up closely with those lines in these 2 spaces, and then you're gonna have like a perfectly proportioned flag. This is meant to look like the flag of Ireland. So it's obviously facing the wrong direction, but I feel like the concept is still there, right? Like it still looks like it, especially because the shape, it just looks like it's been rotated, right? So anyway, this is my Irish flag. And I'm just going to come in here to the pen tool, and I'm going to use the brush pen here. And first I'm going to take white, and I'm just going to zoom in here, and I'm going to, let's use a smaller size brush. So I have this one set at 0.45, so it's really quite small, but I'm going to write to do. And if you're worried about drawing in a straight line, let's take this again. Just gonna do handwriting only with our lasso tool. I'm gonna turn on stroke eraser and erase these 2, and let's just write again. Okay, and that's good enough, and I'm just going to center this here, and then I'm going to move this down. You can sort of see it. That'll be good enough. You can also change this color, so let's change it to black. This way everyone can see it. And I'm going to write this one, I believe, in the green. I think that'll look nice. So let's write doing. So the idea when you're writing with this brush pen is that it's pressure sensitive, so you want to put more pressure on the down strokes and less pressure on the up strokes. I will say that the brush pen in Goodnotes is really not all that great, and I kind of hate it, but it adds a nice touch sometimes, so I'll keep using it. Anyway, I'm just gonna center this and move this up. Okay, I think that looks good. So we're gonna write done. And if you're worried about the sizing, you could easily duplicate this line. So you can copy it and paste it. And you could create like a top line, a bottom line. I don't want to use too many technical terms, so I won't. But you could even do your X height, which is like this middle line here where your like smaller letters come to. So this would be like, you know, the top of the O, the A, the curve of the D. And so that's something that you can do if you want. And then it might make things look a little bit more uniform, and you could carry that throughout. So actually, I think that I did a fairly good job there. Let's see how this one compares. And actually, that's fairly even as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut those strokes, and I'm just gonna make sure that this one is centered and that I'm happy with it. And there we go. I think that looks nice. So then basically what I'll do is I'll use the pen tool to write in all of my tasks, and then I'll use the lasso tool on handwriting only and move them around throughout the week. And then it'll set me up really well for the next week to know exactly what I need to complete in order to finish up my sprint. Okay, this is coming together pretty quickly, which is exciting because I feel like I usually spend forever planning. But let's go ahead and finish this up with my favorite part. This is what I'm looking forward to most. I think you guys are really gonna like this little trick. So this is something I've never done in a video before. I think it'll be a really fun little trick for you for making some cool lettering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my brush pen and I'm going to make sure I'm on my ball pen, and then I am going to tap on the draw and hold settings, and we are going to tap fill color. So we want that to be off, and then I'm just going to draw this rectangle shape, and I'm going to grab my shape tool and then tap on this and make sure I like the size of it within this white space that I have up here for the heading. And then what I'm going to do is come back to my pen tool and I'm just going to color this in. I try to do it all in one stroke if I can, but it's not super important, I guess. But we'll just scribble this in, and then we'll have one big rectangular block. And then what we're going to do is we are going to make sure, again, handwriting only is the only thing selected here, and we're going to select this block. If you did multiple strokes, you're going to want to make sure that you have the entire thing selected. Because mine's really only 2 strokes, I could select this corner and the whole thing would move. So just keep that in mind if you did multiple strokes. But you want to make sure the entire thing is selected, and then we are going to add this as an element, and I'm going to add it to my 2024 folder. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to add that element in again, and we're just going to line these up. We're going to do 5 of them because March has 5 letters. So I'm just trying to equally space them out and then to have them line up at the top and bottom. You could use this element in a lot of ways that I think would be fun. Like you could actually just use them as blocks and then write the letters inside, or add, different text boxes inside, and that could be really cool. But anytime that you want to move these, because these are now elements, you can just use the element tool and tap on them and they move as one, which is super nice. Okay, I just want to move these over just a hair. And now I'm totally happy with the placement of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my precision eraser. And I've got it at the smallest size, and then I'm just going to zoom in. And I'm going to start to erase away to make these really cool block letters. So I'm going to erase away this center here for the M. And then just make sure that you don't erase, for example, the lettering that I have here. We don't want to do that. And if you feel like maybe I'm thinking I want to somehow make this a little wider, I might come in at an angle. But you're just going to erase, and you can play around until you're happy with it. And I think that that looks nice. And then I'm going to kind of do a similar thing. So for the A, I'm just going to do relatively centered, and then draw like a little circle here. So we have our A, and then for the R, I'm going to come out like this. I think I need to zoom in more to get it more precise. So we'll do it like that. And like this. And then I do want to also kind of increase the curve here. I think that'll be good. And then we're going to do a similar thing here. So we just kind of like on the A, and then draw in that. And then for the C, I'm going to start by drawing this like center circle. And then I'm going to erase away here. And zoom in a little bit. And touch up those corners. Okay, and then just for the H, then we'll do kind of like we did for the A, but just do it on both sides. And now we've got these fun block-shaped letters. I think maybe one thing I might do differently would be to fix the M. So what I'm going to do is actually come in here with my stroke eraser. And I'm just going to erase that. I'm going to grab that image tool again. And I'm going to place this here, that same spacing. But I'm going to grab my shape tool, and I'm going to just bring this out. Because the M is a wider letter, and so I think it'll just look better if I can compensate for that a little bit, because the M was looking pretty smushed and all the other letters were looking too large. So I'm just gonna come back now to my precision eraser and do that process over again. So just gonna erase away some of the center there, and then just a little bit here at the bottom, kind of round out that part there, and then I think that that looks a lot more balanced. Okay. So now we have these cool letters, which I really like. And then I think that I maybe made this a little bit too big. So I'm just going to resize it just a little. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is the next cool thing. Oh, I'm so excited. I love this idea. So I am going to come to my third page with this rainbow that's like a cloud and then a long extending rainbow. And I'm going to use my image tool. I'm going to copy this. Come back to my planner. I'm going to paste it. Using my image tool, I'm just going to tap on this. Basically, I'm going to bring it up here. And I want it to kind of be on the edge here. So I'm going to move it over because I want it to extend down this way. I think that's good. I'm going to move this over just a hair. Although it's okay if it has a little overlap. I think that is a kind of nice look. And then what I'm going to do is, grabbing my image tool again, I'm going to tap on this image. I'm going to copy it at this exact size. We're going to paste it, tap on it again with the image tool, tap crop, and then we're just going to crop it down to this section where everything is straight, and hit done. And then we are going to size it like this. And actually what I want to do, because you might notice when you stretch it out like this, you do start to get a little bit of pixelation here. So I'm going to crop it one more time and then just crop in this bottom. And now you can see when you look at it, watch, I'll stretch this out. It is like perfect. There's a very clear edge here and it's not blurry. So that is super nice to be able to do. And I'm just going to adjust this a little bit more, and I want this to come down to the end of Friday, so right here, and then I just want to make sure that I've lined all of this up here so that it looks nice and neat. And I really, really like that look. I think that is adorable. Okay, big fan. Now I'm gonna put like a cute little sticker up here in the corner. So let's come back to my sticker pack, and I think I'm gonna use the Feeling Lucky one. So let's copy this one and paste it, and I'm just gonna put it over here. We've got Women's Day on the 8th, so I'm gonna add this Empowered Women, Empower Women sign. Woo woo. I am going to add in, I think, the green trackers. So let's turn images on and copy, come back to my planner and paste. I'm gonna use my image tool, bring this over here, kind of size it to fit nicely in this space, and make sure that that fits nicely underneath. And get rid of that one, and I'm just going to center that how I like it, copy it, and paste it a few times. So we'll track our meals for the week, and then just try our best to line that up. However, maybe I will make this part the pink. So let's see if I can do that. Let's try out orange. Yeah, I think the orange is good. And what happens if I change this to, there's hardly any of that sort of like sandy color. So maybe I'll do that. It's subtle, but it does the trick. All right, and to go with the happy-go-lucky, let's add in these cute smiley faces. Just kind of sprinkle them in. I'm just gonna use my image tool and kind of throw these around. So I'm gonna put this one up here. Let's balance that out a little. Maybe I'll put this one maybe down here. Maybe this one here. And maybe we can put, maybe I'll put this one here, but I'll add this sticker back on top. So let's cut it and paste it. And maybe I will still move that over. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller too. Okay, so then I'm gonna add a little hat in this corner. So let's come back to my sticker set and grab this cute hat and paste it. Oh, I think that's adorable. I love that. I think that's super cute. Okay, and then let's add in these 4-leaf clovers. So with my lasso tool, I'm just gonna copy and paste these ones. And, oops. And don't do what I just did. So if you want, you can tap on this one and crop the edge in here, but then you'll have to resize that. I probably should have done that from the beginning. So what I'm actually gonna do is just repaste these so that they are not within that transparent space. They're over here, and then I don't have to worry about accidentally grabbing those. But just remember that the transparent space, even though you can't see it, that sticker still takes up part of that space. So yes, it would make the most sense to have cropped that from the get-go so that it's not in the way. But throughout the month, I only put handwriting here and not usually many stickers. And so even if I did put a sticker like this empowerment sticker or something for the holidays, you can still grab them with the image tool, but you would just have an issue if you were trying to lasso it. So just a word of advice, keep those things in mind. I personally am just gonna leave it because it's not gonna bother me all that much, but if it is something that would bother you, then I would definitely make sure to crop that, like I said, from the beginning. And I'm just gonna bring these over and just kind of frame the word March a little bit. And I think that that looks cute. Okay, so this is basically done. As you can see, the last thing that I think I want to do is just change the letters here in the word March. I am just going to grab each of these and just remember that they are made up of multiple parts. So I'm going to make sure image is turned off, and my M is 3 parts. It's the 2 parts that I colored in and then the 1 part for the box. So I just want to make sure I'm selecting all of those parts, and I'm going to color this, and I think I'm going to make it the pink. And then I'm going to make the A, I think the sandy color. I'm gonna keep the R, the orange. I'm gonna turn the C green and the H the pink color. Okay, and I really love this. I actually think this has turned out so well. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this? I think there are a lot of really creative elements in this, and I hope you learned a lot by watching this video and are inspired to create in your own planner. If you guys do use Instagram and you want to tag me, I would love to see what you guys create, especially if you're using these stickers or if you learned any special tips and tricks from me. It just is obviously really helpful feedback, and I would appreciate it so much. Other than that, I think that's all that I have for today. So the only other thing that I might do is just add in with my highlighter tool a little highlighter for the week, and then just make sure that it is one of the colors that we have as presets. Then we're good to go. So there, that's officially everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I love you so much. You're the best, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!